So in this video I'm going to talk about Victorinox's SwissTool Spirit. It comes in several different models. This is the original model here. This is the RT model, which is the Road Tour model. It's essentially a SwissTool Spirit X as far as its tool complement goes. Now there are a lot of videos on YouTube already, approximately 1 gazillion of them. I watched them all while I was waiting for these to come in the mail. And I'm going to try to not, retread the same ground. How many of them talk about every single tool that's in here? Oh, you got an awl and it's got a multi-purpose hook that, you could use to carry parcels, or if you watch the Victorinox commercial for the multi-purpose hook, somebody drops their glasses in the toilet and they use the multi-purpose hook to pull them out, and for some reason, instead of going straight to the sink and washing them, they just continue on out of the restroom. But yeah, check that out if you don't believe me. It's definitely on YouTube. So the original one, it came with this blade here. A lot of people don't seem to care for it. I actually think it's great. I think it's awesome at opening clamshell type packages. It's right here. They complain, it doesn't have a tip. Well, it kind of does in a way, because you can see the serrations go up along the top here a little bit, and then you have the first serrated point right there. And I find that this digs into clamshell packaging extremely nicely. Just rips everything right open. It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. Now, yeah, if this was the only knife that I carried, I'd be a little bit sad that it doesn't have kind of a more traditional drop point knife blade like most Victorinox tools do, such as this Outdoorsman here. Doesn't have a blade like that on here. Yeah, if that's going to be my primary EDC blade, then yeah, I'd be a little bit upset about it, but it's not. I carry plenty of Emersons. Look at this, the blade's the size of the tool. Anyways, so I traded in I sold off my PT540s, the Paladin tool, multi-tools. I still think that they're extremely great tools, very purpose-driven, huge, robust, probably the best pair of pliers you're going to get on a multi-tool. But, how CDC junkies are, we like to play with new toys, so I sold those off. Don't really regret it, The only thing I regret is that the Okuden sheath, the belt sheath that I had made out of Kydex, was pretty specific for those, and had to sell that with it basically. I mean, it wasn't going to serve me any purpose otherwise, but it's cool because I found out about Skinth sheaths, so I'm going to have a sheath made for this, and I'll do a video on that eventually. There are different models of throughout the years, because this is actually a very old multi-tool. Something interesting to note about Victorinox, unlike a lot of other companies, they pretty much got it right the first time. They don't feel the need to keep coming out with new different models every year. Not saying that the companies that do that are in the wrong. Just that's just how good the Spirit and the original SwissTool are. What they do, however, is upgrade. If they find anything that they can improve upon, they do it. The original ones, the plier heads actually opened the other way, so you see how this head is notched here where it opens, and this side is full construction. Well, originally it was the reverse of this, and they discovered that when you're torquing to loosen a bolt or a screw or whatever, that's when you put the most stress on the plier heads and are most likely to crack them, because this is cast construction. It's not like a billet of steel that they shape into the plier heads. It's cast into this shape and then refined. Look towards multitasker if you want actual billet CNC cut plier heads. It would be the most robust as far as that goes. So they discovered that to make it the strongest that it can be when loosening like a rusted bolt, you actually want the construction to be favored towards the right side. You'll be least likely to get any sort of cracks there. The wire strippers on this seems very good. I've really used them for cutting wires, but Definitely I can see how they could strip a wire nicely. I've read where some people complain that the plier head doesn't close up fully here. That's done intentionally because when you're actually gripping something, you want the plier heads to line up in the grip, basically. You know, you want the most contact when it's actually gripping something, not so much when it's closed doing nothing. I mean, who cares about that, right? The grip is very nice, feels great. I'm really enjoying these tools. They're somewhere in between a Leatherman SwissTool and the Leatherman Wave in size. As far as, you know, when you've got them like this and you're wearing them on your belt, they're gonna feel like you're closer to wearing a SwissTool. When you're actually using them, they're gonna feel like they can take on bigger tasks like the Wave. So it's a really good compromise as far as that goes. They really pack everything that you could want in a multi-tool into a very small form factor. The fit and finish is amazing. Everything just locks up solid. It feels great. It feels incredibly sturdy. It has a full lifetime warranty. This is the Road Tour model, and at first I thought that this was anthracite. That's how all of the descriptions online read. That this material, instead of being steel, it sounds like it's anthracite, right? Which is a very hard coal, sometimes called black diamond. Very high carbon content, very strong and sturdy material. So I thought, well, maybe it is. I think it could still crack. So I don't think that's actually what they did. I think that there's a little bit of confusion that they're calling the color and the appearance. So it's a very reflective mirror polish finish. You can see me in the reflection there. I think they're actually just calling the color anthracite, and that it's actually a polyspectral coating. It seems to be very hard wearing. I've never seen a picture of one of these scratched. That's why I thought maybe it actually was anthracite, because it seems like it goes all the way through. If you look on the back side, it looks just as black, you know, on the inside. So you can see how the construction's done. Basically the black piece on both this and on this one. Well, it's not black on that one, but it's a single piece, and it forms the frame. So like the Spirit X, instead of having the butter blade, you have a more traditional drop point knife blade. But I was really just moving that so you can see it is black all the way around. It's a very sexy kind of two-tone appearance. First I thought about getting the black oxide, just because I thought it'd be cool to have a black one for civilian carry, and full stainless uncoated one for work. But I discovered the Road Tour model and thought that looked the best. You can tell that these were made in different years. For a while, when they first upgraded it to the right side construction on the plier heads, they still had the Victorinox symbol there, and then eventually they removed that. I think it's all just sort of to help them. All the slight changes in the plier heads is just to sort of help Victorinox differentiate sort of what type of construction they're doing. I think that they might have made, you know, slight improvements between this model and this model even. So they're the SwissTool Spirits. Very nice. I'm really enjoying EDCing these. They're small enough that I can carry even in civilian clothes. I'm using a triple aught design S2 pouch that looks a little bit strange just because it's originally olive drab or foliage or whatever their green color is. But I dyed it black with some acid dye, and it fits it perfectly, like perfectly. Very, very low profile, and I can put it on my belt, hardly any bulk. So it's great. I love it. Okay, thanks for